Hello, everybody, and welcome to Fig Night at the Tavern. It is Tuesday night. I am the OG Fig Kid, Thomas Montazo, just cutting off words. And joining me, as usual, on location, this guy right here.
Good old Mike Bellcaster live in the Rocky Mountain High Mountains, man.
I mean, this dude is dedicated, coming to us live from his vacation. What else can you ask for? Nick Storm, rumor has it he got beat up by a kangaroo. We're not sure if he's going to make it on time. Hopefully he does.
I think a kangaroo tied him down.
Oh, a kangaroo tied him down. There you go.
And then
so beat him up and then tied him down. Guys, before we get started, real quick, in case you have yet to check it out, go to theturnbuckletavern.com. Follow us everywhere you possibly can. Like, subscribe, follow. Join our Discord. Come talk to us over there. And when you're done with that, let us know what you think. Call the tavern, 304-404-2004. Give us some feedback. Let us know what you think. We'll play it on the flagship show on Thursday mornings. Check it out. It's a lot of fun. And one last thing. If you're going to order some figures, go to ringsidecollectibles.com. Use the code TAVERN. Save yourself 10%. Oh, boy, I haven't seen that gimmick for a while.
He did it a couple weeks ago before.
Yeah, he did do it. That's fun. That was a fun thing when he did that. We need to find the 10 hands to put on the Sean Spears figure. Wait, Sean Spears figure's not out yet, right?
Not out yet. Coming soon.
Not out yet. We saw it. It looked good.
Yes. It looks really good.
So,
I'm excited.
Yeah,
we
go. What's up, James? How's it going, Jared? Thank you for joining us. Tyson's in the house.
Good old goddamn Tyson.
Here we go. Matt Goldberg, what's up, buddy? Hope you're doing well tonight, guys. So should we jump right into the news, Mike?
I'm down. Let's go for it, man.
Let's do it.
And now to figure news.
There we go. We got J-Bone in the house.
What's
up, Sam?
Nick Storm.
Nick Storm got tied up. He got beat up by a kangaroo and they tied him down. We're not sure when he'll be here. We got Acefield in the house. What's up, guys? As usual, our news is brought to you by Wrestle and Figure News Source. If you're not following them on Twitter, WrestleFigNews, not .com. WrestleFig News on Twitter. Check it out. We are the official Fig show of the Wrestle and Figure News Source.
Yes, we are down at the Turnbuckle Tavern. It's good stuff.
Right. If you didn't see last week's episode, check it out with Matthew Goldberg. It was fun. Mike, what do we got first?
First, we got Don the Bomb Smith in the house. What up, Don?
What's up,
Don? Happy that you're joining us. First off, we have some major bendy news. Tyrus, known from his lovely, what is he in the NWA now? Funkasaurus from your WWE times. But Tyrus has a limited edition bendy 2-week pre-order window from July 8th till the 23rd. So if you are a Tyrus fan or you are collecting all your bendies, somebody better call your mama and pre-order these bad boys at majorpodmerch.com. Check it out. It's good stuff, man. It looks awesome. Great detail on it.
It really does. I'm a fan of the bendies. I can't wait for Series 2 to come for sale, and I think we might have to bring Knick back to the show soon because it was a lot of fun when we had him on.
Absolutely, man. I could not agree more. I'm excited to see some more growth in that.
Danhausen. I want the Danhausen.
Yes, very good. Next up on the list, we have the Focos. They're the WWE Rodney the Piper bobblehead, up limited edition to 720 pieces. They cost around $55 and are expected to ship in December. I mean, do you get the Piper's Pit diorama in the background with it?
Dude, I was just wondering the same exact thing. If this comes with that Piper's Pit diorama, how do I not order this?
It would be awesome if that was like the box casing and then it unfolded from the front.
Do you notice the photos
Funko.
on the wall are of the bobblehead?
Hire us. Yeah, no, it looks awesome. It looks really, really good.
It does.
And
It's really
I know
fun.
I know you love your Piper, so
I do. I'll buy anything Piper.
Yeah.
Oh, come on. Don't be a bubble burster there, Matt. Come on.
It's okay. Matt knows.
Matt knows.
So yeah, but I mean, looks awesome. Again, $55. Expected to ship in December. Check out what is it? Foco, not Funko.
I won't have
Foco.
every single one. I just need 2.
He's gonna have 719 of them, and he's gonna save one for somebody else.
No, that's not true. That's not true. I'm trying not to buy 2 or 3 of everything anymore. I'm trying.
Says
Listen,
you.
If you saw my Instagram today, I only got 1 set of Series 3 so far. Superstars, and I love them. I need to get another set. Why did I only get 1 of each?
Yeah.
You know what? And
Wild.
are they here? Or are they upstairs? I wanted to show you the backs. They're not here. Maybe we'll get to it later. If not next week.
I love the backing. So
the back's so much fun.
I know.
I didn't
very reminiscent of all the old school figures out there. They do such a good job with those.
They really do. They really, really do.
Oh, Tyson's throwing us some Danhausen news over here. Danhausen and Sting were in the same ring together. Check out
wow. Did they get married?
Oh, yes. No. They painted each other's faces romantically.
That's what they should do on April Fools. They should come out wearing each other's makeup.
That would be awesome.
That'd be fun.
And a slow news week, but last but not least, that's probably the best thing that we got going up there right now. So we have Matt Goldberg, our very own bestie at MBG1211 on Instagram, has announced his new project. Witness the epic action figure recreation of AEW's 5 Labors of Jericho Chapter 2 between Chris Jericho and Nick Gage. Coming soon to his Instagram. Keep an eye out on the Instagram stories for official release date and time. Super, super awesome. Matt kills all of his photography, no matter what it's for, whether it be product, for AEW figures or these awesome little projects he does. I'm ecstatic to see it. It's going to be awesome.
It is. It's going to be totally awesome. If you haven't seen any of his big projects, he did the AJ Styles Undertaker. It was amazing. I think he did the Mox and Kenny Omega exploding barbed wire death match. These are amazing. And the posters he sells are a cannot miss.
Absolutely.
So keep an eye out over on his Instagram. It's going to be amazing as usual.
He says probably releasing
in a few weeks, hopefully.
I'm excited for it.
A double maybe. So that means it'll be soon. Jared, speaking of NC, the 5-level matches happen right here in Charlotte, North Carolina, the level 5. Okay.
Right here.
Charlotte, North Carolina.
Charlotte, North Carolina. There's a different hardcore guy. But yeah, super badass, dude.
That is. Guys, we have a special guest joining us tonight. In case if you've seen on social media, let's welcome him to the show right now. The author of the brand new checklist, FigHele. How's it going, buddy?
What's going on, man? How are you?
What's up, man? Thanks for being here. Thanks for joining us. We appreciate you, brother.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate you asking.
And let's just show off the cover of this amazing book. I just ordered mine today, guys.
I have them right here.
Oh, snap. Yeah. Man, that is thick. I did not see the actual book.
Let's share this and show the actual book. Here we go.
There we go.
Wow.
My goodness.
Wow. Holy smokes. You know what? It reminds me of when you're a kid and you used to get the catalogs in the mail and you couldn't wait to the big Sears catalog. You can't wait to get to the back to see the toys. Only this is better because the whole thing is full of wrestling toys.
Exactly. Yeah. And Matthew Goldberg did the cover, which I think is beautiful. I think it's a work of art.
Hell yeah, man. So let me ask you, man, how long did it take you to get all the research down to put it into this book? It sounds like so much tedious work, but totally worth it, because you got every line of wrestling action figures in this bad boy. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, so I've been actually working on this for insurance purposes years before this. This is probably up to this point. It's probably about 3.5 years of work of like just
Wow.
constantly research. And there's still like, there's like minor lines that I don't think many people even know exist that like I don't feel comfortable putting in there because there's not enough information. Like, you know, like anything in wrestling, you get the smart marks, right? And someone, you know, messaged me and was like, oh, you don't have the Gorgeous George puppet in there. And it's like, well, first of all, there was no checklist for that because it's only one thing.
Yeah.
The actual year it came out is unknown. Who produced it is unknown. I think that there's only 5 that are known to exist in the world. So I didn't really think it was necessary because, you know, how many people are checking that off their list? So for it to take up essentially each manufacturer, I would say, in the book takes up 2 pages because I like to give it a picture page and then depending on how many are in the line, you know, a checklist page. And I didn't think it was worth 2 pages because frankly, nobody's going to be checking it off because really nobody has it.
Yeah. No,
Yeah,
totally
makes
understandable,
sense.
man. Super cool though. I mean, just from the artwork alone, like it's stoked. But like I was showing it off last week here, and I got that little Amazon preview. I was going through those first couple pages, man, and it's just the details. I love that there's the mock and loose, you know, check boxes.
Yeah.
Like it's just so thorough, so badass, man.
Yeah, well, I wanted it to be detailed, but at the same time, I wanted it to be very simplified. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That was my goals going into this because, like I said, I've been working on this for years, and my goal was I wanted to make it as cheap as possible, which I'll be honest, this year was so difficult because ink prices went up, paper prices went up, printing prices went up, the manufacturing, and then of course shipping went up. It was like every single factor that goes into producing these went up, and it was like, oh my god, like how like is anybody going to even want this at this point? Like it's so difficult now. It's absolutely insane, but we're not going to get into that. But I wanted to make it simple and I wanted to make it cheap, and I did my best.
Yeah.
I wanted it to be very thorough, but also very simplified, like you said. Last year I put out the 2021 edition, and it was basically just white paper checklist, and you know the not complaints, but the criticism that I got, or maybe the feedback I should say that I got was, you know, we want more pictures. We want color. We want, you know, more detail. So that's what I did. I produced 2 this year. I don't know if you guys are aware of that. So there's a black and white edition, which is called the value edition. It's cheaper because it's cheaper to produce something in black and white. It's all the same details. It's just no color.
Yeah.
And it's cheaper. So it's for people who don't really care about the color, you know?
Oh yeah.
And then,
I ordered mine, and I accidentally ordered the black and white version.
to be honest with you, I think it's just as good. I really do. The color is really for the people who, like, you know, they really want that extra detail. Like last year, like, you know, it's going to be the same exact layout, same format, same information. You're really not getting anything extra with the color except for the color.
It's color, except for that.
Yeah, which, like, it's big to some people. That's an important thing. So those were the 2 things that, like, everybody kept saying, like, why isn't it in color? And the answer was really simple, because to produce a book in color is literally more than twice the price, because it just costs so much more. Like, think about your home printer. You know, you can get black ink and it's no big deal. Then you add in the color ink cartridges you need, and it's like, oh my god, it's like quadruple. But if that's the simple answer why we didn't do it last year, I did it this year, and I initially was only going to do color. But I was afraid that, like, you know, that would deter some people because I knew it was going to be a little bit more expensive. So I decided to release it in both. And I think it was a smart decision, personally. I mean, it's been a headache.
And we just got this question right here, and I want to let Jared know that the hardcover edition is now available to order on Amazon.
It is. It literally just went up this morning.
Yeah, I saw it today. So you can go order the hardcover version. There's the good news.
Yeah.
Go do it. Go to the link is actually in the story here, but be careful. I think the link is for the black and white one, because I put the link in the same time I ordered it, and I was like, oh, I didn't realize I did that. So, but
yeah, there's 2. I can probably get you. Actually, I don't know, because I'm using my phone for the camera. But yeah. So the hardcovers went up this morning. That was a headache in itself. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I'm talking 3 straight 12-hour days of reformatting this whole book, which is 536 pages, doing each page individually, it was a headache, but a lot of people were asking for it. Now, here's my issue with the hardcovers. Like I said, producing a color book is expensive. Producing a hardcover color book is like a whole nother animal. I didn't want, full disclosure, it's $74.99 for the hardcover full color. I did not want it to be that price. My goal was to make it $60. That was what I thought was fair. That wasn't even an option with the publisher. Wasn't even an option. And I was going to completely scrap it because even at $74.99, my royalty is like nothing. So it wasn't even worth it for me, all the work. But I got so many people DMing about it that I was like, I'll put it out there. I don't know if anybody's really going to want it at this point, but I'll just put it out there. The hardcover black and white, I think, is a very fair price. I think it's like $42.
No, that's not bad at all.
I think it was a little less than that. I think it was in the 30s. I think it was.
It
like
might have been
38.
honestly,
Yeah.
So many prices, and each thing has to be different. It's insane, but and I'm still new to all this stuff. Like, you know, I think like, you know, you can just make a price whatever you want. You really can't when it comes to marketplaces like Amazon and the publishers and such. But you know,
$34.99 for the black and white paperback version.
Yeah, and there's a hardcover too. There should be a hardcover listed.
Yes, the hardcover is $42.99.
Yes,
not bad at all.
Black and white version.
Yeah.
So
no, it's cool. I appreciate you making, you know, a black and white, like kind of a value book for people maybe who can't afford the color pages.
Yeah.
And then, you know, even the hardcover is like a collectible in its own, you know, because you're getting this really nice, fancy, you know, hard boarded book. And that's pretty cool, man. And it's good that you're looking out for everybody in the price ranges, you know. And
I'm trying, man. And like I was saying, with the hardcover full colors, the last thing I'll say, part of the reason that it's much more expensive than the others is that the paper's not even the same. Like all the other books is standard paper. With the hardcover full color, it's like a premium heavyweight glossy. It's almost like a coffee table book, like, you know, high quality paper. So the pictures are glossy and they pop. The outer part is like a full like gloss on it with the cardboard and everything. So there's a lot more that went into it than just like we're putting this paper inside of a hardcover. It's a boring, complicated process. That's the short end of it.
Yeah, no, listen to those thick glossy pages, man. It's gonna spark when you're looking at it and stuff.
Yeah,
like that. That's what I'm waiting. I was waiting to order it. I'm out in Colorado right now on vacation, so right when I get back, I'm pre-ordered on the ride home.
I appreciate it, dude. You know what's funny is that when I started it last year, you know, I didn't think anybody would care about it being in color or the pictures and stuff, because the way I was looking at it is I was looking at it that people would want to use it as a tool, which is what it was intended as, because if you get your collection insured, the insurance company wants to have a record of certain things or what you're insuring. And they, at least my insurance, my collectibles insurance company asks for a directory or some kind of proof of what they have that they can keep on record. And I was like, well, this would be an easy way. I didn't realize that people were more so going to want this as like a collectible to like really like rip through. What's going on, Noah?
I'm afraid.
I just realized I can see people that are in here. My bad.
No, you're all good,
I'm afraid when I get it and I start going through it, I'm going to realize stuff that I'm missing, and I'm going to be like, oh man, I need to get this. How'd you come up with the original idea for this? That's what I want to know, because it's such an awesome idea and there's nothing like this out there.
So I'm just like, if you guys are familiar with me on Instagram, I'm like I take the term collect them all like very, very seriously a lot of the time, like a little too serious. So like, it started out as I want to keep track of the Mattel figures I have. So I did a complete checklist to my own personal self of everything Mattel ever produced. And then, like I said, I got my insurance on it, and they wouldn't insure me until I had a inventory of everything. Wouldn't even accept my money until I had this inventory. And I was like, you don't understand how much is in here. This is we're talking, I have, you know, up to the high 5 figures as far as quantity. And they were like, it's just our policy. So I started getting to work on it, and I was like, well, why am I gonna make an inventory of just the things I have, knowing that I'm going to continue to buy stuff? knowing that I'm going to continue to grow this. So I was like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to make a full-on checklist of everything. And, you know, that way in years to come, when I improve my insurance and I upgrade it to more value, I'm going to have the things that I potentially am going to be picking up. And then it turned into other people might want this. And then it turned into, okay, let's change it and let's format it into a book. And now here we are. I really didn't think that it was going to take off like it did.
Yeah. No, it's crazy. Yeah, as Matt said, my family's mentioned I need insurance on mine. I never looked into it. I'm the same way.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I need it. People tell me all the time because my basement's just full with everything.
Yeah. And you know what? I'm going to be completely honest with you. It's not expensive. Like, I don't know what your collections are worth. I know what mine's worth. I'm really not supposed to say, but I will say for what it's worth, it's a pretty cheap yearly premium. And the only thing is I think once you get above $45,000 in value, they expect certain other things. So I had to get some crazy stuff. I had to get like a new security system that they approved on my house. I had to get cameras installed on the room, like facing the room in case anybody ever came in and robbed it. I had to get, this is probably so boring to people watching. I had to get a smoke detector that if like the house caught on fire, it would automatically call the fire department.
Yeah.
Like all these like ridiculous things. I didn't even know that existed. So I had to get all these things and I had to get them in inventory. It was like really like a long process, but it is worth it. And I do suggest people do it.
Yeah, no,
I agree with Matt. Like, this is stuff we need to know. I think you're sharing. Do you have a section about this in the book? Because this is important information.
I don't. But it's actually an idea for a book that I was wanting to do, is a bunch of different like things that I've encountered along the way that might not be about, oh, this specific figure is rare, this, that, and the other, but it's more so questions that I get all the time. Like, oh, how did you get this item? Like, you know, how did you have access to this? How did you do such and such? Like, how did you get this from this place? Or, you know, all these different questions that, you know, just years of experience I've learned how to do or get.
Yeah. That's super awesome.
I think the insurance thing, man, this information is like priceless for us.
Yeah. No,
your next book is how to insure your fee.
He's going to pick my brain on the insurance. Yeah. The thing is, the insurance company that I go through is actually, like 20 minutes from us, because Noah lives near me. It's like,
oh wow,
the local place.
Nice.
But it's like wow. It's not an international. It's a national thing, but it's just located in our area.
No, it's super cool, man. So collecting, man. I mean, we've seen it all. If you guys follow FigHele on Instagram or on TikTok, even, man. I mean, you have one of the best, most vast collections out there. When did you start collecting wrestling figures?
I mean, I always tell people, like, I've been collecting my whole life because they were pretty much my first toys I ever had. You know, I remember my earliest, I was just talking to somebody, my earliest memory of wrestling isn't even actual wrestling. And I know that I watched it as a kid because my dad was a big wrestling fan. My earliest memory of wrestling is really the WWF Hasbros. Like, that's, when I think back of my childhood and my first memory of wrestling, it's always the Hasbro figures. Like, I have these visuals and these distinct memories of like my dad coming home from work with a Hasbro Rowdy Piper holding it up at the door as he walked in. Like, that's my memories of how I fell in love with wrestling and how I fell in love with wrestling figures, and it just never left me. You know, I didn't collect my entire life because there was a period like in college where I just didn't have the money. I was pursuing other things, and you know, it just wasn't, you know, the money wasn't there for me, and I wasn't really having the means to do it. So I would always watch. I would always watch what was going on in the wrestling figure community, even though I wasn't necessarily partaking in it. I was always checking what Jakks and Mattel were you know, putting out. Because around this time, it was probably from, I want to say, 2008, I stopped actual buying and didn't start again until maybe 2011. But I was always following everything. And it's just, to me, it's an art form, and I absolutely love it. And I don't think I'll ever not love it.
Hell yeah.
I agree with you
I
there.
like to hear that.
I started with the LJNs. The first day they came out, I was in the store to get them.
That's awesome.
And then when the Hasbros came out, it took me out of it because I was just a kid at that time. And I went from these big figures to these little things. And I'm like, oh, what's this? So it's just funny
like,
how
why
what
is
you're
it so
attached
small?
to, what you're attached to is what you grow up with. And now,
Absolutely.
like I have a Roddy Piper mint on card Hasbro, but there's so many other ones I want to get now. Like I need the Road Warriors. I definitely need Legion of Doom. And it's funny how you find a new respect for all these figures now because I didn't get back into it. Like you, I would always check out what was out. And then when Jack's Classic Superstars came out, I'm like, oh, I can't not get these. I need to start getting these. And that's what brought me back. Then Jack's lost the license and I went to Mattel and I tapped out again for a short time.
Yep.
So annoyed at myself that I tapped out at that time because I missed out on the first line of Defining Moments. I did have some of the legends from back then. I think I always bought those.
See, I was glad that I stopped collecting around 2008 when Mattel picked up the license, because like a lot of Jack's guys, I was like kind of bitter and like I didn't want to acknowledge how good these Mattel figures were. You know? So I was like, I'm glad I'm not in. I don't want these. Like my Classic Superstars would be nothing. I thought it was going to continue to grow. And I remember at one point I found the Kerry Von Erich Legends series at Family Dollar. They were $5 each and like the whole set. And I just left them. And in retrospect, it's like a huge regret of mine that I left them behind. But
wow.
Yeah, man, like, you know, you go through these like phases with collecting, like even myself, where like, I'm going to be completely honest with you. Like I was hardcore into the retros.
Yeah.
And right now I'm at a point where I'm like, I could take retros or leave them right now. Like there's so much cool stuff out. Like I love the AEW figures. I know that's a hot take. I absolutely love the Superstars line. I think,
dude,
we were just
talking about that before we came on here.
No,
even I think it was when we were on here because I just got Series 3 today. They are the most fun line going right now.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
They're so fun. The packaging, the back of the packaging, the quality of the soft goods.
Everything.
And this Series 3 just blows me away. Seriously.
Yeah. It's beautiful.
They just keep getting better.
They stole my attention right from retros that like I don't know if the love is going to still be there for retros in a year with this line going the way that it's going as far as Superstars is concerned. And that's nothing against the line. I'm not saying retros aren't good. It's just right now there's so much out. And not to mention, you got Chella Toys making retros, you got Zombie making retros, you got Rush Collectibles making retros.
That was going to be my next question. Do you think the market is... I was going to say, is the market being flooded by too many retros that it's actually going to hurt all the lines together?
Yes.
There's so many different ones.
Yeah, I do think that. And I actually told my buddy FigHele this back in like November, December. You know, right before retros were about to start coming back out, I was like, man, I don't know if these are going to be, you know, how this is going to fare, because there's so much retro figures in the market that I think that it's going to kind of kill the interest a little bit, you know, because it's already a niche within a niche. And
absolutely,
it's a great point.
It's just, I'm not the expert on marketing and sales and such. I'm noticing more and more that, people don't seem to be as interested in retros as they were.
Yeah. I had collected the whole first series of retros, and then I feel like I did them more out of FOMO. So eventually I sold them. I'm like, hey, listen, why am I collecting something just because everybody else is happy with it? I should collect what makes me happy.
Exactly.
So, but you know, being a part of this community, like FOMO will get you.
Yeah.
100%.
What is your biggest FOMO purchase? Do you have a FOMO purchase?
I don't know if I do. I really don't, because I mean, maybe like certain like Legends figures, like flashback figures in the Elite line, I'm at a point where I'll buy every Legends or flashback figure in the Elite line because I'm like,
me too.
I grew up on this stuff. Maybe I'm not crazy about this, I don't know, whatever figure in the Legends line, and I'll want it down the line. If I don't get it now, I'm going to have to pay double, triple, maybe even quadruple in a few years, what's the big deal for me to spend $20 now? At the very least, if I don't like it in the future, I can flip it, because traditionally these things do go up in value.
Yeah.
It's not common for the majority to just stay at that manufacturer suggested retail price.
Yeah.
So I do think that it's always a decent enough investment. And even if you don't like the figure, down the line, you could use that as trade bait for something.
Absolutely.
There's so much more to it than, like, I think people look at it as like, oh, why would you want the Goon figure? And it's like, well, first of all, I think it's an awesome figure. I think it's cool that we get an obscure character. But again, like, if somebody doesn't like it and they find the Goon, there's people who want those obscure figures, and you can trade that for something even maybe more valuable just because people want it.
Yeah.
There's so many ways to look at it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So, you were mentioning AEW. Is that like your favorite line out right now that's being mass produced?
My favorite line out right now, my favorite line out right now is Superstars, like I said. AEW is probably my second favorite line. I personally like the line. I think it's good. I believe that they've grown since the line's inception, and I think they'll continue to. The problem with AEW, I think, was that Mattel had the license, the WWE license, for, at that point, what was it, 10 years, because 2010, now it was 2020 at the time that AEW came around. So Mattel had 10 years experience with this WWE line that, the screw-ups that they had early in the line, or maybe the things that didn't look great or looked cartoony or weird in the heads, that was all forgotten. That was like, that never happened. It was like, this is what they have now. So they expect this new line and this new company who's never produced wrestling figures to blow Mattel out of the water, who's like an expert now in producing wrestling figures. And you have to expect that that's not going to happen right off the bat. And I did expect that not to happen off the bat. But I was like, you know what, for what these are, Series 1, there was things wrong with them. I said, but they're pretty good for their first ever wrestling figure and 100%. Like humanized figure that this company's producing. And I do think they get better over time, and they fix things that people complain about. And it's only going to get better, in my belief. Do I think that it's going to outsell WWE Mattel? No, and I never expected it to. But I do think it's really cool that we have two major companies producing action figures at the same time in a similar enough scale, which we haven't had that since, WWF and WCW. And even those, they weren't exactly the same scale or same articulation or really anything similar about it, but everybody still played with them together, I think matches. I think sometimes we get a little spoiled as collectors. In the modern day, and we start to expect things that weren't always noticed. Like, scale was never a thing when I was a kid. Like, scale, like, what's that? Like, everybody was the same size. The Giants were the same size as the cruiserweights. Like, it just was what it was. And now it's like, if a figure is like a millimeter off in height, like, people will. They'll gather the whole crew. They'll grab the torches, man. They will burn the village down for that.
Hey, listen, my Remcos used to wrestle my LJNs, and they were not the same scale.
No, man. Like, but I mean, it's a different age of collecting, and collecting is evolving. So I get it.
It is.
Yeah. It's
so what is your biggest holy grail in your collection? What is your favorite?
My favorite is probably, I have this I have the Minton bag Hulk Hogan mail away from the Hasbro line, which I think is awesome. I got that in a raffle for like $24 a year ago, or maybe a year and a half ago, and I never thought I would own that Minton bag. I got my Rocky Maivia resin prototype. That's probably my favorite, and
that's awesome.
It's his first figure. So I have like the resin hand painted prototype of virtually the biggest star in the world and probably the biggest name in wrestling history, period, just because of how he branched out outside of wrestling. I have his first ever figure, hand painted resin, and it's in an alternate pose than what the figure was released in.
Oh,
I think that's
I just seen that where he's got his arms up like this. It's
yeah,
so
they're
badass.
elongating them in the long run, but man, like I love that figure, and I got a great deal on it.
It's awesome, dude. No, it's a super cool piece to have, man.
Yeah.
I just seen the post the other day, where, like, you know, he's in the fighting pose.
Yeah.
It looks so cool.
Well, because back then, when you know he was always doing that fighting pose, so it really like, and it's the figure that was used on the back of the box. So I remember being a kid, I'm like, man, it looks just like Rocky, and then getting him, he's got these just long, straight arms. It was just like weird.
Yeah, those bone crunchers were crazy back then.
Before we continue, let's introduce Nick Storm has freed himself from the kangaroos to be our other host is
They
now
took
here.
me. They took me. I can't believe it. Hey, FigHele,
tied
sorry.
you down, mate.
They tied my kangaroo down and they tied me down along with the kangaroo. So it's good to be here. Sorry for the late entry, but you know what they say, good things come late. Royal Rumble, you know what I mean? Entry 30. That's what I am right now. But FigHele, it's good to have you on. I'm so late, but I do want to say before you know we continue this, I'm a big fan of your reviews, FigHele. I think it's like super interesting. I don't see people who are mock collectors do reviews often, so I think it's very cool to kind of spice things up in the review world. So yeah, glad to have you on, man. Oh my god, the kangaroos freaking got me, man. I can't believe it. I'm still upset about that. But how's everyone?
Thank you. I appreciate that, man.
We're glad you made it out.
Thank you.
Outback Jack was there for the rescue as always.
So is there a piece that still eludes you that you're hoping to get one day that's not in your collection yet?
There's a couple things like I hope to get the Cody Rhodes Series 1 of 500 one day. You know, I missed it when it went up on ringside, and right now it's at that like $2,000 price tag, which I just, as somebody who really wants it, I just don't see that is the true value of it. I just think that there's a little bit too much hype right now behind the figure. You know, I do believe that's going to go down eventually just because it's just going to, you know, I think it will in time lose its mystique and everything and interest. I really want the Hasbro Royal Rumble ring, like mint in box. I really want that. It's a tough one to find. But other than that, those are probably like my two like holy grails that like I will always like look for and aspire to have. And those are two items where like I have to have them one day. Whereas other things, like if I don't get it, I don't get it. But those are probably the two.
No, absolutely.
Those are two great ones. I had two of those Codys.
Did you?
Bought one. I got it from Ringside, and I sold it within a week. And then
what'd you sell
I
it for?
regretted it. I sold it for $1,000.
Yeah, good.
So then I rebought it for $600, and then resold it for $2,000.
Yep.
So Cody's been very, very good to me.
Yeah,
But let me ask, do you think his being in WWE now, how does that affect the value of that figure?
Honestly, I think that because what I see happening is that, you know, people complain so much about AEW making so many Cody figures. You just wait and see what Mattel does.
Absolutely.
You want to talk about what AEW Jazwares did? Wait until you see how many Cody figures Mattel makes, because I guarantee you there's going to be
top picks, top basics, every basic series, every elite series, every ultimate edition. There's going to be at least one
every
Cody.
ringside collectibles. It's got to be Cody Rhodes.
I can't wait. You know, listen, I'm just glad we're still getting that Supreme Cody because that figure looks amazing.
It's beautiful. It's a work of art, man.
I had a chance to see that in person in Vegas for the Fan Fest. I was able to, you know, see the box and everything. Those Supreme, those unrivaled Supreme figures are.
Mattel has to make an Ultimate Edition of Cody's WrestleMania return, just so we can have a side by side. You know what I mean? Because I think that'd be so cool. You know what I mean? That'd be so awesome.
I think that they definitely will do that. They pretty much isn't the Edge Ultimate. It's his return, right? It's his.
Yeah.
I think that's what I'm expecting them to do that with Cody.
Absolutely.
I hope so.
No, me too.
And the new Unrivaled 9 is coming out, and the suit looks.
Yeah. Looks
no,
awesome.
Unmatched 4.
Unmatched 4, yeah.
I think it looks great.
That looks
I'm a
amazing.
big fan. Yeah, absolutely.
Listen, I'm here for all the Cody figures. I don't care what the haters say.
And if you're a Cody fan and he's in WWE now, and you're a big WWE fan of Cody, you have to get that regardless because he comes out in these promos and stuff like that. Maybe we won't see him for a long time, but this is a good time to stock up on those Codys. So
I never understood the complaints about all the Cody figures being produced. I never understood it. I'll never understand that for anybody, even like John Cena. It's like.
Yeah, you understand it from like a business, right?
Absolutely, no.
There's no law.
You have to. So if you have, this is a great segue. Do you have rules to your collections? Like, I can't buy, certain Cena in this attire if I already have it in a basic or something like that. Like any kind of standards that you set your collection off of.
No,
I don't understand. You don't have to buy everything.
Yeah, that's new to talk about.
Like a little crazy like that. Like when they produce like a figure that's similar, I want them all. Like there was like a couple of the John Cena basics that came in like the "You Can't See Me" shirt. It was like the exact same shirt, but there was ones that had different heads. It was like a slightly different color, and like I had to have them all. Because I think it's so cool to see these minor little changes to things.
Yeah, absolutely.
My rules, it's what I like, if I like it, I'm gonna get it. I like to stick to first time in the line guys. I have to get every first time in the line guy, even if it's somebody that I really don't know or follow. Like, I'm gonna be completely honest. When Jake Atlas got a figure and it was announced, I was like, "Who's Jake Atlas? Don't know." First time in the line, I like to have them. It's like a rookie card, I love that.
I do the same thing. I try to limit myself. Like I have rules, but rules are meant to be broken. I break them all the time.
Absolutely.
I tell myself, I'm not buying this, and I walk into Walmart and there it is. I'm like, oh well, I guess I'm buying it. As a matter of fact, I was in GameStop today, going to check out the AEW figures, and they had the Bianca Belair 92 on clearance.
How much
I had
was
no
it?
intention of getting it. It was $18.
Okay.
I'm like, all right, $18. I'll get it. It was a nice scan. I didn't realize what it looked like in person. Really, really nice scan.
I think she's had some great figures.
Yeah. Absolutely. I love the, like, even them putting in the earrings, removable earrings and stuff like that. I think that's brilliant. Really cool concept, because it's Mattel. They have that access with all the Barbie stuff that they have under their umbrella. They should incorporate that more often.
Absolutely, 100%.
WWE line, man. Yeah, it's awesome, man. Yeah, no, it's cool. I always say, buy with your heart, not the hype. Don't go crazy buying crap for no reason just because you think you need it or want it. But buy it if it interests you, go full blown, man.
Don't buy just because you think something's going to be worth something. Like it's just don't do that.
Tom's guilty of that. Like there's something that I always say. It's like at the end of the day, action figures, whatever you may call it, they're catered towards like kids who are a fan of the product, right? And then us as adult collectors, we can kind of selfishly be like, oh, these are nostalgic for this reason, or we still just like figures to this day. So, and it's like got that like certain price point. Like if people are complaining about a $20 figure that looks immaculate, has double jointed elbows, all this interchangeable heads, like that's at the end of the day, that's amazing. Like NECA is doing the same stuff for even more expensive prices, and so. Yeah, I think we just have to sit back and enjoy the ride for the most part. Because sometimes you see reveals, sometimes comments are just completely like shitting on them, and it's
pictures don't do justice.
Yeah, no, especially with these Jazwares figures. Like I watch a ton of reviews and people say that as well. So yeah, it's crazy.
Well, even we were critical on Unrivaled 9, and then I got it in hand, and I'm like, holy smokes!
One of the best sets that they've made.
Yep.
Yeah.
For real, bar none.
Yep.
That's I call that the Jazware effect because people always see those promo pictures and they're like, oh my god, like the new MJF that's coming out and Unmatched. They're like, his head looks stupid. I got to see it in person. It's the best MJF I think they've ever made. Yeah, I love it. The head is perfect, man, and it's such a badass looking figure. I can't wait till they'll start shipping out, man. I need my CM Punk. I need
they got
all my guys, man. Yeah, absolutely, got to be soon. Yeah. I'm excited for him, but that's every time, even when Mattel. Like when Mattel was just starting to make those Sting figures when they finally got Sting. I remember people chased Bill off of the wrestling fig forums.
I do remember.
And they were just tearing them apart, and it came out to be one of the best Sting figures that was ever made. Like still up to this day, it's crazy.
Dude, the thing that cracks me up too is seeing the people complain about CM Punk's legs on Unmatched 4. I'm like,
Yeah.
what are you talking about?
And you know what's funny? Yeah, and they're the same legs that are used on the chase. So, and like no one's complaining about the chase legs.
It's an upper body game anyway, man. It's gonna
we have a couple of questions in the chat I want to go over. Here's a question from Don DeBomb. Is the book going to be updated, added to after a period of time? Great question. I wondered this myself.
What is that? What does he mean by that? Because every year we're going to put out a new, like an updated edition. But I mean, if you're buying a physical book, there's no way for me to, update it with pages and such like that. Especially,
I think he means a new version every year.
Sure. That's the goal. As long as people want it, it's like that's the goal.
Yeah,
absolutely
makes sense. I'll be here for every version.
Can you get Matt Cardona to do an audiobook?
Just reading them out.
Oh, that was my question. How'd you get Matt to do the forward to the book? That's cool.
So I've had like a good relationship with Matt for quite some time. It started with like Instagram and such like that. Like, he was, to be honest with you, when I first started with Instagram, I started with my other account, which was Unreleased Wrestling Figs, and he was like one of the, I don't know how he found it, but he was like one of the first followers. Like I would say like in the first like 3 to 5 followers. And then like I would post certain things and he would ask like questions, and then we just got to talking and stuff. And then I started FigHele and he followed me on there. And then like I would periodically check in and give like information and stuff, or like, and then we would do like trades, and it just like snowballed from there. And we've just had like a good like relationship over time. And I just, I would say last year I helped him get like a Macho Man prototype. And people, I see things said about Matt that I'm like, well, you clearly don't know him or talk to him, because like you're going based off of like a wrestling persona. Yeah. You're not going based off of the actual person. Like I got him this Macho Man prototype, like helped him get it. And, to thank me, he sent me this like unreleased Hulk Hogan LJN head. Just send it to me. You know what I mean? Like as a thank you, like just he's a good guy. Like I had a good relationship with him. Yeah. I've always supported like his stuff as well, which I think is cool. And I think he appreciates. Like I love the Major Bendies. Like
I do
every time I post about Major Bendies, people will slide in my DMs and say, "What? Yep, there they are." And they're like, "What?" One guy was like, "Oh, you're selling out." I'm like, "I'm selling out. I bought these." like, they didn't send these to me and be like, "Yo, go do a video." I bought these.
You're selling out your wallet, pal.
Yeah, like, I like it. And so a couple months ago, I just asked him. I said, "Hey, man, would you want to do the forward for this year's book?" Because he got last year's, and he was like, "Yeah." And he just sent it to me, and I really appreciate it. He's always been a good guy to me.
Absolutely. No, I've done some business with him through the Major page. He's always if you buy something from him, he always doubles what the hell he's selling you. He'll send you like 10 8x10s instead of the one you bought.
100%.
He's a good dude, man.
And not for nothing, there's not many people on Instagram, or even I should say on the internet in general, with 2 million followers that if you slide into their DMs, they're gonna write you back.
Yeah.
Like
he writes you back every time.
I've never sent him a message and had him not write me back. And you cannot say that about any other person. Like I think that maybe sometimes he'll write people back with a short 1-word answer, but I think that goes a long way. Like you see how much he responds on Twitter. Like I think he gets a bad rap, and I
agree.
I think that he uses that bad rap to his advantage in his wrestling persona, but I don't think it's rightfully deserved in his actual real life.
Yeah, I had picked 100%. Up a figure he needed. I had it in my collection, like an extra one, and he's like, "All right," and I'm like, "You could just have it for everything you've done for me." And he's like, "No, dude, I'm paying you. Like, I'm not asking for handouts." And he made sure he paid me, and it was like more than what it was with shipping.
Yeah.
So he wanted, so total respect from that guy, because he could just take it. He could have just said, "Okay, thank you."
Yeah.
But that's not what he's about.
No, I have nothing bad to say about Matt, and there's times where I'll post things and people, like I said, people always want to slide in my DMs, not put in the comments, but they'll slide in my DMs and say something, and I will always defend him because he's always been good to me, and I have no reason not to defend him.
Yeah.
Are you going to Live 13 this weekend?
I'm not. I've yet to go to a major event. I was supposed to go to FWF last month, but I had a family emergency and I had to kind of cancel.
Yeah,
I was kind of bummed. But I let that's another thing. I let them know, and they sent me like the because I got like second row or first row tickets. I can't remember. They sent me the free stuff.
That's awesome.
Just, even though, like come on, like
Yeah.
I have nothing bad to say about either of them.
Listen, they charge for their stuff, but they make sure you're happy when you get it, which is amazing. They actually care.
No, 100%.
So
you know how many times, like both times that I bought major bendies, I've done reviews on them, and I'll just mention offhand at some point in the video, which it shocks me. They watch the videos every time because they'll DM me about certain little things that I mentioned, so I know they watch them. I would comment on like, oh, this card has like a ding, and then 3 days later, I got a new backing card, and both times it's like people can trash like their products all they want, but they really do try their hardest to give the like highest quality products that they can, and to make right on things that maybe slip through the cracks. I really do believe that.
No, they're good dudes.
Definitely agree.
That's amazing. Yeah.
So let's move on to our Toys in the Attic session of the show. Hold on, where is our intro? Here we go. All right. FigHele, have you brought us something for Toys in the Attic?
I have. And I mean, every time I do a podcast or an interview, I just ramble on about stuff. And I'm like, man, I don't know if people are finding this interesting or not. And I don't know if anybody's going to find what I have here interesting, but we're going to go through a little figure lesson.
Oh, nice.
Now,
Ooh, I love it.
I am a huge fan of the Bone Crunchers.
Yes.
I don't know how many viewers are going to agree with that, but I'm a huge fan of the Bone Crunchers. And there is I have every single Bone Cruncher. I have all the variants, the deco variants. It's a complete collection. Okay. And I've acquired all the box sets, everything. I have it all 100% complete. I have all the accessories. I have every little piece that was included in the bone crunching action.
Love it.
And there's one figure that is easily the rarest figure in the entire line. And I truly believe that nobody knows it exists because nobody cares, but there's so few and it's so rare and hard to find. I would say in the last maybe 8 to 10 years, I've seen maybe less than 8 pop up on eBay ever.
Wow.
In that time. And it's something that I check literally every day.
And you can find this in the new checklist book.
So, in 1999, KB Toys ran a promotion, and it was for WrestleMania 15, and you could get this for like 99 cents if you spent a certain amount on wrestling figures. It's a Stone Cold Steve Austin, hard to see, with a WrestleMania 15 logo on his t-shirt. It's a gold WWF XV logo. Everybody had this. Then they released it in Canada with a different back card. It's got the blue back card. It's got Stone Cold Steve Austin. Again, this is pretty simple to find. I always thought this was funny. It's got like a plastic, sorry for the lighting. It's got like a plastic bag warning on the back. But the same year, they ran a promotion, which if you bought the figures, there would be like a little card in there that you could pull out and it would say that either you won or you lost. A lot of times you pulled them out and said you lost. You mail that in, you get a mail away Steve Austin, which is this. This is a tank top Steve Austin. He's got a WrestleMania 15 logo shirt, and it's blue, which is not a logo they ever really used. It's got Stone Cold Skull on the back. Most people don't know that there was actually a variant to this mail away. And it's super hard to find. And it's a combination of the two figures I just showed you. So it's the new body Austin in the tank top, but he's got a gold WrestleMania 15 logo on the tank top. The same skull on the back. This never pops up.
Amazing.
We were talking about Grail pieces. This was my Grail piece up until I got it last year.
That's awesome.
And it's I still need to replace it because the face isn't perfect, and I want to get it knit and bag.
Yeah.
Literally, and this is I don't care what anybody says. This is the rarest Bone Crunching action figure there is because I hunt this thing like nothing else. Now, just because it's rare doesn't mean it's worth anything. Yeah. I've never seen one go for more than $40. It's not an expensive figure. It's not super valuable. And rare and valuable are not interconnected. Okay? And this is very, very difficult to find. I have asked for this for years, all over the internet, all over Instagram. And anytime I ask for it, people say, I have that figure. And then they show me this.
Yeah.
This is a t-shirt. This is a tank top. Or they'll say, I have that figure. And they show me this. It's completely different.
Yeah.
This is so scarce. And when they do pop up on eBay, grab it fast because I guarantee you it's going to sell. Because every time that one's popped up, I've gone to buy and it's taken right from under my hands. Because
that's crazy.
The people that know about it know that it's hard to find.
Yeah.
I don't want to say know what it's worth because it's really, like I said, it's really not worth much.
Yeah.
You don't ever see them. So this is my Toys in the Attic. This is one of my top Grail pieces that literally nobody in the world gives a damn about.
That's so awesome.
This is an amazing story. So how did you find out about this variant of it?
Had to be like 10 years ago. Because as soon as I heard about it, I was like, I have to have it. Somebody posted it. I think it was on one of the message boards or something like that they got this figure, and immediately people were like, oh, that's a custom. That's a custom. Like, I'm like, well, how's it a custom? Where did he get this decal?
Yeah.
and then I was just forever on the hunt for it because I could tell by the look of it that it was legit. And my theory behind it, is that they accidentally used this logo on this version, the gold logo that's from the KB Toys version, but they really wanted the blue because that's what matched what was on the carding of the figures, that blue WrestleMania 15 carding. So I feel like these were like initially produced and then they stopped production and moved on to the blue. Now that's just a theory. There's no information on why, but I do know that there's not very many of these out there.
Dude, this is sick. This is this had so many layers to it. I kept
I love it.
every time you were showing off a different figure. That's nuts, man. Wow.
Yeah, it's
oh man.
Well, here's the thing. I had to get once I found this and I was starting to look for it. I had to get all the I already had this.
Yeah.
I already had the KB Toys one in the bag. I had to get the Canadian one because every time, and it was like I would do it probably every month on Instagram and all over the place. I would look for it. I would get people sending me these other ones. So I was like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to buy all the other ones, and I'm going to post them in the picture that these are not what I need. And it didn't matter. I would still get pictures.
I was just going to say it didn't help.
It didn't help.
Yeah.
But that was why I was like, I have to get all these, and then people will stop sending me the wrong thing. But no, that's not what happened.
That's awesome, man.
Wow, that's an amazing.
Much love to the Bone Crunchers. I think it's one of the most underrated lines out there.
I grew up on a Stone Cold Bone Cruncher. That was like one of my first figures I had, so it like hits home. That's amazing.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I cannot wait for the figure collections, Bone Crushing Wrestlers. Man, like figure collections, they've shown me things that haven't been shown yet. And all I gotta say is I think that line is going to be friggin' incredible. The stuff that they have in store, it's let me tell you something. That's probably the line I'm most excited about outside of Superstars. Like I just see what they're doing, and it's going to be huge. Like I think anybody who was a bone crunching fan and kid who's a collector now is going to want these, especially when they see what's to come.
Awesome. You're pumping me up, man.
Yeah,
I'm ready to roll.
Collection.
Yeah,
I need to buy some bone crunchers.
you do, man. There's some of the funnest. I have all my childhood ones. I've added on to it since then.
Yes.
I bought some from Broski. It's just good stuff, man. I love the accessories they came with. It was always like over the top. They hooked it up, man.
Yeah, and you know what? There's some emphasis on the word "some" that are really, really good figures. A lot of them, it's like, man, these are ugly, but it's like, man, it's more than just what the figure is. It's like the feeling it gives you because it really, really brings me back.
Yeah,
I truly believe that these were the first wrestling figures that were like playable to no end. Like Hasbro's were fun, but you had one action that you could really do with them. This, like the posability, you could do stunners, you could do rock bottoms, you could do pedigrees. Like it felt like you could really, really play with these. And I think that's why they're so near and dear to me.
I love it, man.
That's
no,
awesome.
Absolutely. So cool.
So you mentioned you have the Hogan head from the LJN in your collection.
Yeah.
Any other unique LJN stuff? I'm an LJN guy. That's why I popped when Jazwares announced they were redoing LJN style figures. So I'm here for that.
See, I grew up on Hasbro's, and my brothers grew up on LJNs. So I had LJNs when I was young, you know. And I told this story recently. My dad used to be a vendor at a flea market, a toy vendor. So he would always get stuff. And I remember him having cases of like Hulk Hogan's when I was like in the mid '90s, and cases of Kamala's mint on card, and just because he would always source from these different places, and they were cheap. And I like grew up on that stuff. And I remember I still have like one of the Kamala's mint on card that he gave me. Yeah. But
awesome.
I grew up on that stuff too, even though it was technically like before my time. I was born in '88, so I was born right at the very end of it, you know?
Yeah.
And I love LJNs. That is probably like the most intriguing, I would say, LJN thing I have. I do have the Hulk Hogan workout set in the box, not sealed, but it's in the box. I had
that as a kid.
Yeah, it's so cool.
Yeah.
I think I still have it, actually. I'm pretty sure it's in my parents' attic.
Like
Speaking of toys in the attic.
It's one of those things where I'm like, it would be awesome if you have it mint in box sealed. But if you have it and you're able to like see everything that's in it, it's so cool. The cassette tape, the poster, like the dumbbells have the WWF logo on it. It's so cool.
There's a hand grip in there.
Yeah, it's just it's such a cool
I had the poster
piece.
hanging on my bedroom wall.
Yeah, man, it's awesome.
Yeah,
I have the Bendy's, the WF Wrestling Superstars Bendy's ring, which like I think is so cool.
I need that.
Yeah,
I had it as a kid. I just found a picture of me with it, and I'm going to a toy store that I know has it, so I might be getting it soon.
Dude, pick it up. It's so cool. Like, and to me, it's unlike any other ring because of the base. If you had it as a kid, you know what I'm talking about.
Yes,
the base
exactly
is like a soft, flexible. That's kind of like just has pins put in it, and you can like kind of remove it. It's so
cool, man. Yeah.
Wow.
And I have it's not really LJN, but I include it in that era. I have the Winston Toys Wendy Richter, which I think is such a historical figure because it's like the first women's wrestling figure. You know, like yes, there was Miss Elizabeth, but she wasn't a wrestler. You know, she was a ballet. And
that's awesome, dude.
I think it's so cool. And if you think about it, that came out, and I believe, I want to say, was it 85, 86, the Wendy Richter? We didn't get another female wrestling figure for so long.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think.
Well, there was somebody in a Remco set, right?
But I don't think she was a wrestler. She was a valet.
She was just a valet.
Yeah, I think it was a valet.
It's crazy.
I'm talking like a wrestler. I guess we could include the first Sable where she was like with Luna. Yeah. It was not a great playable figure. But it was so long until we got an actual wrestler, female wrestler.
Sure. Absolutely.
So to me, it's such an iconic piece. And I don't really, like another thing that I don't think very many people care about, but I like it.
I find it fascinating. Dude. I love it.
Yeah. I'm all for it. It's fucking This is awesome, man. Yeah.
This was a freaking fun episode, dude. We're so glad you came on.
I'm so glad because every time, like I said, every time I talk, I'm like, man, I don't know if people find this interesting.
We're glued. We can do this all day long.
Dude, I could sit here forever talking to you.
Yeah.
I'm loving it. So
I like that you have the history to back it up, not just be like, oh, I have this toy. I don't know much about it, but I like it. But you're like, no, fuck that. I have 3 different variants. Then this, like that's I love it, man.
I have to because I have to find like something about it has to interest me. You know, whether like a lot of elites now, like the flashbacks and the legends, I like calling them flashbacks. Just this is like a really side note. I like calling them flashbacks, and I hate that Mattel removed the flashback logo from underneath the elites on the mint on card ones. Like I think a couple years ago, I used to love that it would be the elite logo just like everybody else, but when it was a flashback, it would have like this arrow that said flashback. I love that. But they got rid of that.
I'm like you. If it says if it's a flashback or a legend figure, I'm all in. I don't care. I have to get it. Yeah.
So I have to get it. But like, see, like the modern guys, if there's something that like interests me, and it's like it's something really obscure or cool, that'll be enough to sell me on it. Like I never saw Roman Reigns in NXT. I don't watch NXT. Never saw him in NXT. But when they came out with the Seth Rollins, the Roman Reigns, the Alexander Rusev figures from NXT, I was like, that's so cool. We're talking about stars, and this was before their stars. I have to have it. Not that they're really necessarily worth anything, but I think it's just a cool time capsule of an action figure.
I haven't found that Seth Rollins anywhere. That's one that's like, because I love Tyler Black, going back and watching a lot of Ring of Honor stuff, and it's more Tyler Black-esque than the Seth Rollins we know now. So it's like, it's super interesting as well. That's why I really love the NXT line, and I wish they had it keep like going still. So that's a beautiful figure, honestly.
And I thought the packaging on those was beautiful. You know, the basic came with the trading cards or like a build-a-set. Such a cool line, and it's a shame that like it didn't go as far as it probably should have.
Yeah, no, absolutely, man. And it's always a shame when you hit those like those Hall of Champions. Those were so awesome. Yeah, and then it's just like, oh, we only got 2 series. Like, come on, man, give me more. But the NXT line was so unique. The box was the big axe. It was so cool, man. I still have a few of them mock.
And then like the box was like layered. You like slide it out, and then the cuts are still open because like the name like slides into the cuts on the side, and then the background of the figure was like an old school logo of them. So cool.
Super awesome. Yeah,
love stuff like that. I have that whole set.
Yeah, those are great.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So plug yourself. Tell everybody where they can find you. Your Instagram accounts.
Sure. So pretty much all social media: Instagram, TikTok, Twitter. I'm at FigHele, FIGHEEL. I just put out this book, like we were talking about, the Ultimate Wrestling Figure Checklist. It's available now on Amazon.com in 2 versions. We have the premium edition, which is full color. We have the value edition, which is black and white. And both editions are available in paperback or hardcover. So you pick what you want to spend to have this tool. You're getting the same content on the inside. It's just the quality of it as far as color, black and white, and such. I'm on Whatnot, and I will be running a Whatnot live stream this Friday, June 25th at 5 p.m.
I'm going to be at Live 13. You can't do it when I'm there.
It's going to be at 5 p.m., so it should be a little bit before it.
There you go.
What else do I have? Oh, my YouTube, FigHele. I do a lot of like unboxings. I'll do like figure histories. I'll do weekly purchases. I will do all kinds of stuff. Top 5s, top 10s, my worst and favorite figures of the year. Just whatever I'm feeling. It's like a plethora of stuff. I try to provide different content on every channel. That's my goal. So TikTok is more so dedicated to short bursts of people say like, oh, show me this figure, and I'll show them the figure.
I love it.
Instagram is more so based around like, here's things that I got, here's things that are coming. I think Instagram is my best platform as far as information that you're going to get. Twitter, I'm the worst tweeter of all time.
Same here. I'm terrible.
I check it maybe once every 2 weeks. So I'll check it and I'll go into my notifications and I'll have some really nice messages from people and I feel really bad. So I always try to retweet and comment back. I'm just so bad at checking it. YouTube's fun. Yeah, anywhere. You can find me everywhere.
Yeah. Awesome,
FigHele, guys, and the link to the book is in the show notes, and I'm going to update it with both versions of the book, so it makes it easy for you guys.
Thank you so much.
If you're watching on YouTube or Facebook or Twitch, you'll be able to find a link right in the show notes. I'll update it with both links as soon as we're done here. Right now, I have the black and white version in there. I have to go in and add the color version.
And if you send me the link to this video, I will I'll put the link in like a story and such, so more people can watch it as well. Because I had a lot of fun talking to you guys.
Yeah, man.
We hope you come back one day. We'd love to do this again.
Yeah,
dude, I'm so sad that I came in late. I would really love to have you on again, FigHele, because like I get the guilty pleasure of being able to be a fan and now watch like the half hour or however long I missed. So that I can't wait for. So I'm gonna do that right as we get off this. So yeah, but dude, please come back. You're an amazing guest. From what I've heard, you go in depth with everything, and it's just like the kind of collector we need on here. You know what I mean? Like the kind of collector that you can expand on and you can tell backstories, and it's a great fun time. So, dude, for sure, come back here anytime you want.
Absolutely, I had a lot of fun. I'm glad you guys weren't bored from the things I was saying. Like I said, I ramble sometimes.
No,
so.
Never, man.
I try to keep it. I try to keep it positive. Now, like do I love every single figure that Jazwares shows or Mattel shows? Is there things that I find wrong with things? Of course, but I don't ever feel the need to really discuss it. Like I think it's more fun to talk about the things that I love.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
100%.
I don't like to be
That's what we do here. That's exactly what we do here. We don't focus on the negatives. We don't
like tearing things down. We like building people up and building companies up. Build your collections up.
Yeah.
And I want to tell Jared looking for Superstar Series 2. They actually haven't hit the Walmarts here yet.
No,
my
not
Walmart
here either.
just got in Superstars 1, and they're there now. So it'll be patient, and Superstars 2 line will show up. I'm still waiting for my pre-order from Walmart. I got Superstars 3 today, so Superstars 2.
I got the July 1st email. I can't wait for them. I got 2 of each. I'm with those. It's the first ever line where I am a loose and mint on card collector.
I love it, man.
Well, it's not the first time I've done that, but I'm doing the same thing with this line.
Yeah.
I only ordered one of each of Superstars 3, and I'm like, I get them, and I'm like, why did you decide to save money now? You should have bought 2 sets, but I'll get them again. I'll find them.
You gotta.
They're too great not to get 2 of each, man.
And again, like we were talking about this before you came on, the backs of the cards are so much fun.
The cards in general, even the fronts. I love how the fronts blend, and like you get, like Hogan's arm will be in one, and then it's like Honky Tonk's guitar tops in the other. It's so badass.
I noticed that wasn't done as much with Series 3, and I was a little disappointed in that.
Okay.
I did. You know what? I did notice that as well, and I was kind of like, why did they? First of all, it's a drawing of the person, so why would they choose stances and poses that don't extend out? Like, I didn't really understand that, but I mean. It is what it is, but it's really cool when you see that arm coming out. Like,
you're like, who's like matching them up, and you get them in the box. You're like, oh, this is awesome. I showed Tom
like right here.
Yeah,
right there.
Oh, it's the best.
I guess that's Hogan's arm right there. I would imagine.
And you would think that elbow from Hogan's card would be something that we complain about, but it's such a cool detail that we love.
It's fun. Yeah. It's just so much fun.
There's a random elbow on the front card, and and then it's missing on the 3rd series, and everybody's, where's it at? Where's the head? Where's the hand? Where's the elbow?
No,
that's what we love about wrestling figures. Yeah. Big Freak. I saw the pictures of Scott Hall, and I was drooling.
Big Freak threw out some fucking awesome pictures of Scott Hall, man. Like,
those photos were amazing.
I have a hot take on that Scott Hall. I think that Scott Hall Superstars head is the best Scott Hall head that Mattel's done. It's so good.
Yeah, no, it's awesome.
And that's no disrespect to their other Scott Halls. I just think that it's an immaculate job on that head.
Yeah. No, absolutely. Man.
Absolutely. This is so much fun. I can't wait to have you back. And like I feel like I've absorbed so much knowledge. And that's what I'm here for. I love learning about the wrestling figure history.
Hell yeah.
Now I got to come correct on the next one.
There you go. Well, I mean, thank you for joining us again. Guys, go to theturnbuckletavern.com. Make sure you're following us everywhere. Thank you for joining us again, FigHele. This was a friggin' amazing episode.
My pleasure.
We appreciate your time, and son, anytime you want to come back, you let us know. You're welcome here anytime you want. Until next week, guys, for all of us, love, peace, and pro wrestling.